Let's talk about Prince Harry, because, again, we were talking about Donald Trump over the front pages. This story is literally everywhere today. He's flown back into the UK and seemingly into another royal row. Now, his trip is already being called embarrassing after the invitation for Harry to stay at Buckingham Palace was apparently withdrawn. So there's a lot of toing and froing with this, isn't there? You know, that one, it's like a he says, you know, the King's people are saying one thing, Harry's people are saying the other. Should the King step in and allow his son to stay at the palace? Should he pay for his security? Yeah. Nobody really knows, Janet, what's going on.
The
a lot of royal correspondence, obviously.
Yeah, well, the story that's come from Buckingham Palace, from King Charles's court, is that he was given a deadline by last Friday. And he hadn't decided...
To decide if he was staying at Buckingham Palace.
And then Harry told the world that he was coming and staying at Buckingham Palace. But, of course, to put a person to stay in Buckingham Palace who's so concerned about security as Harry means that he requires a big security detail, and staff have got to be brought in because no one's actually living in Buckingham Palace. We know that now. Now King Charles has told us he's got no intention of living there. So I kind of see where the King is coming from, but I also see that Harry, with 2 kids and quite a difficult wife, might find it hard to make up his mind until the very, very last minute. So I've got an offer that I'm going to make on air. I know you're in London, Harry, because you've got a very, very important legal case reaching its conclusion today. So what I'm going to say, Harry, looking for a bed tonight? I've got a spare room in the Barbican, centrally situated, good for press access and Fleet Street and all of that. All right, the bed's folded in the wall, but it comes down and you've got your own bathroom.
Bring your handbag.
Bring your handbag, good postcode. And by the way, there's a cinema in the basement.
I might go home with you after the show.
What do you think of it, Colleen? You know, this ongoing story?
Oh, do you know what, Ruth? I mean, I talked about this yesterday, but I just think it's sad, all this about, well, you know, he needed to know if he was staying, you know, and now they maybe said he can't stay. I'm thinking, where is the... I know it's the royals and I know it's not like us, but as a parent, why wouldn't you go, I want my son to come and stay with me, so sort it out.
Yeah.
Life's too short.
You know, and all this about, well, he can't make the decision. Yes, he can. He's the King and it's his child.
Yeah.
And the same way, yeah, Harry might have been, you know... Like all our kids are, it doesn't matter what age they are, they do things and you think, when are you going to grow out of that? But it's still your child, I don't know. And he's
Devil's
not well.
advocate, though.
And, you know, why not see his grandkids?
I need at least 2 weeks' notice if someone's going to come and stay with me.
Yes.
Yeah, I need to find the best flannels, I need to change the bed.
He's coming to stay, royalty.
I need to do an online shop. Like, I wouldn't like to be bamboozled at short notice.
If you come and stay with me, you're lucky, and you do it last minute. I probably won't even change the sheets, so get over yourself.
No, I'm like you. I like notice because I enjoy having
getting
people to
picky
stay.
bits that I would
I like
normally
doing the
eat.
bedroom, and I like going. There's the fluffy towels, and make sure there's a dressing
Stop
gown.
the kids.
I've got my spare rooms all ready.
Yeah.
My spare room's ready. Bed might be in the wall, but it's ready-made, clean bed.
Oh, I'm never
I
guest
have
ready.
different people staying at my house literally nearly every day of the week. My friends come in who I've not seen for a year.
What is it, a youth hostel?
It's like, it is like, well, it's not all youth. It is a bit like my own personal Airbnb, but I stay there.
And you don't get any
And
money.
she doesn't charge
And I
anyone.
love it.
I need
Well, listen, we asked you what you thought about this, and 42% of you... Oh, she's dropped her handbag.
Oh, sorry,
Dropped
bag
her
on
handbag.
floor alert.
Security.
Security. Trick. It's designer. Anyway, what was I saying before I was so rudely interrupted by that handbag?
Your
yes,
poll.
42% of you told us that you think the King should step in and offer Harry a room. Janet got in first, though. Sorry about that. Now, it also has been reported today that King Charles sees this ongoing situation with Harry as a test beyond endurance. Excuse me, for their love. And that got us talking this morning about our parents, our relationship with our parents. Has your relationship with your parents ever been, like, really severely tested, or even with your own children?
Yeah, do you know what's interesting? I think all I've ever seen with my family is how much unconditional love and support they've given me, where I don't even need to ask, you know, it's just a given. So I feel very blessed with that. And actually, it was when I had my first child, I saw the extension of their love that goes to the next generation and how they could love me through my daughter. My daughter came at a time where I had a big job job and I was contracted to do a TV series. And my mum was not very well herself. She was having chemotherapy and really poorly, you know, like vomiting and stuff. And she came up to help me with the baby. I think I was expressing. She was supposed to be at an oncology appointment, going into hospital.
Wow.
My dad was ferrying her around, trying to support her. I was going to work. And it was a really stressful, difficult time. But my mum never let me down and she was always there for me. And it was this amazing thing to think that she could extend that love through my own child. And I think a love like that is like no other, where, you know, whatever happens, that person will always be there for you.
Yeah, 100%. I 100% agree with that. I can't imagine any poem, and there wasn't anything when I was growing up with my parents that I can look back on. Yeah, I might, as a parent, go, I'll probably do that differently, and probably have. But I never look back and there was nothing like that, you know. And the same with my kids, you know. As your kids get older, it's just unconditional, you know. And they have great picture, and they have
that's
a lovely picture. And they have done things, you know. I've gone through trauma, especially with Shane Jr., you know, as he's talked about when he went through his addictions and all, and that was a really hard time. But there was nothing he could do that would ever make me go, I don't want to see you again, or you're not staying here. And the same with my mum and dad. You know, there must have been quite a few things that we all did as kids, but we were always welcome back. They never did anything that I didn't. I mean, there was things they did, especially my dad, that I didn't like him for, but I never stopped loving him as my father.
What about your children? Have they ever fallen out with you or said, I can't believe you're not letting me do that, or...?
Probably when they were younger they did that, when you parent them. But now, you know, when they're parents, I see them do things that I think, I wouldn't have done that, you know.
Oh,
but
really?
they go, I know that's why we are.
Yeah.
You didn't do
But
that.
I think as well, it's not until you're an adult that decisions your parents made that you hated at the time and hated them for, as an adult, you kind of go, that probably was the right decision. For example, when my dad came out of the army, I was at boarding school in London, and my dad came out of the army, and he was retiring down to Cornwall, and they went, like, you have to come home now. And I was horrified. I was in London.
How old were you?
16. Just doing my GCSEs, O-levels, we called them back in the day. And my best friend, her mum, who's a single mum, and much younger than my parents, she had her daughter when she was very young, said, well, she can come and live with us. And my parents said, thank you very much, but no. And I was fuming with them. I couldn't understand it. And I hated them, and I told them they'd ruined my life, because then I had to move to Cornwall, ended up in this small village where I didn't know anybody. Looking as an adult, you know, I settled and it was fine, and I had a lovely life down there, actually. But at that time, I genuinely hated them. I literally thought they had ruined my life forever.
Yeah,
you know,
that's
you had
what
a
I
similar when you moved.
Yeah, I think that happened for me when I was 14. I mean, up to then, it had been, you know, I was just moody Janet. But when I came home from school one day and Dad said, right, girls, over tea, he said, right, to me and my sister, and she was 12 and I was 14, I was at grammar school. He said, right, pack your bags, girls, we're moving on Tuesday. It was the first we'd heard of it. We're moving to suburbia, to Perivale, to a part of Ealing, and it's a suburban estate, to a house we knew nothing about. And it was just presented like a fait accompli, all arranged, all sorted out. He and my mum, quite rightly, wanted to move out of half of a terraced house in inner London and have their own back garden. It was a house on the end of a road, had a little garage. My dad got an allotment down the road, and they really loved it. I hated it. I had to travel into school and back an hour each way on the train. And also, being 14, I was starting to go to clubs up in the West End.
Oh, we're talking about clubbing coming up.
Yeah, we're talking about clubbing, so I won't talk too much about that. But the thing is that from then on, my life, the war started. The teenage war.
So did you never forgive them for that, really?
No, I didn't. I didn't.
Ever.
Ever. And it's... as obviously we all got older, and I got married and then divorced and remarried and divorced. And of course there was a whole subplot with my parents. I didn't really know that much about their backgrounds. And then as I discovered more and I got older, I saw my mother in particular was a hypocrite. The woman that moaned at me for getting engaged and married and engaged and married had actually been married to somebody else when she had me. and she hadn't got divorced. So I thought, well,
Yeah.
two-faced cow. It's basically, in a nutshell, and I'm sorry if that's not very acceptable
Obviously,
on
she's not
daytime
here
telly,
to
but that
defend.
she's not here to defend herself.
Not here to defend herself, but
Yeah.
yeah, we get the gist.
Yeah, you've got
Weren't
the drift.
happy.
And then, obviously, she never lost her sharp tongue. I mean, I have inherited that from her, I will admit that. Because when I married my fourth husband, and he was a lovely, lovely Canadian film director, 19 years older than me, i.e. nearer to her age than mine, the first time I brought him home for dinner, I wore a fantastic dress by this French designer, Azadine Alai. I was at my absolute fittest. And as I opened the front door, she looked at me and she went, "What have you got on? Did that dress shrink at the cleaners?"
She wasn't the most loving, was she?
No,
No.
she wasn't. She was all over
It
him like
explains a lot.
cheeks.
Explains
Explains
a
a
lot about
Really
Janet.